Okay, hi everyone. We're the Magnolia Group, and we're really excited and proud to show you guys what we've been working on the last few months. First off, we want to thank Melissa and Carrie for sharing your sauce with us and giving an opportunity for us to show you what we've done with it. So my name is Sarah Ashley Biederman.
Hi, I'm Gentry Barton.
I'm Jackson Elder.
I'm Logan Connor.
And I'm Brody Myers.
So we're going to walk you through our situation assessment, and I'm going to talk y'all through the background. So Delta Ridge began as a family recipe that was passed down from generation to generation. And it wasn't until Carrie met Melissa's family that he was introduced to their table sauce, which is their version of a barbecue. And because of its unique flavor, he instantly fell in love because of that Delta kick that it has. And since their business began in April, they've produced over 12,000 bottles.
So the barbecue industry is an industry with low barriers to entry, but high barriers to success. That means it's easy to get into, but it's not easy to get a lot out of. The good news is Delta Ridge is doing a lot of things right, including kind of appealing to that healthy demographic because all the sauces are gluten-free. But there are four main success matrices that you have to have. The first is having key contacts within the industry. The second is having a high profile. The third is having a wide product range, and the final one is having a clear identity. Delta Ridge has three of those four, and they're doing great in them. The one they do not yet have is a clear identity.
So the category of barbecue is a very diverse category, and a lot of it's location oriented. So you have styles such as Memphis style that we're all familiar with. You have other styles like Kansas City, Carolina. Alabama has a white sauce. You also have a Texas style, and then you have West Coast styles and things like that. So it's very location driven. Everybody has their own they have their own twist on it. And it's mostly just because of where they are, where they're from, where they grew up, what they were raised with.
So when we started looking at our consumers, we quickly realized that everyone loves barbecue sauce, but more specifically, they like the barbecue sauce from where they're from, like Logan just said. Regionality is really important with this group, and what we found with Delta Ridge, because they use the three main bases that are typically used, the ketchup, the mustard, and the vinegar, we're able to use all of those tastes to market to all of those regions because of that familiarity. And with the vast product mix that we have so many flavors that allows us to target lots of consumers.
So for our sorry, that light's like a red phone. So for our competition, we broke it up into two markets, local and national. So for our local competitors, we're going to have Hoover Sauce, Sharon Sauce, Bootsy's, and then for our national competitors, we're going to have conglomerates like Sweet Baby Ray's, Stubbs, Rufus T, Casey Masterpiece. With that, we'll go into the research, or to the challenge. So for our challenge is that Delta Ridge has an identity crisis. They really don't know who they are. In some circles, they're considered a table sauce, but not too many members of the general public know or are familiar with what a table sauce is. So Delta Ridge is a versatile barbecue sauce. It can be used as a salad dressing, what we found a salad dressing, a dipping sauce, a marinade, and a glaze. With that, we can go to the research. For our research, we conducted primary research consisting of surveys and focus groups. These surveys and focus groups are comprised of both men and women from ages 18 to 55. Along with that, we also conducted in-house taste tests to kind of gauge how the consumers felt or what they identified the sauce as. And after that, we also went into the marketplace and went out from retail stores in Batesville and Oxford, to kind of gauge how they perceive the sauce and how the sauce was doing in the marketplace so far. And with that, I'll hand it off to Gentry.
So our insights from our research. So our consumers told us that they want to be able to access y'all a lot more easily. And for that, we've decided that we should do a website, and that will allow them to be able to buy products on and have like more interaction with you, as well as go into grocery stores here in the local community. And then we also, as you can see right here, we've revamped our packaging. While we were looking at our research and interviews and things like that, when you gave us the product, it was a mason jar with a cloth top. And while people thought it was cute, a big concern was it's not practical. I break things, or the cloth top gets a little dirty when I use it, things like that. And then also the identity. So like Jackson said, we've broken this up into 3 different subcategories for y'all to use. And we'll explain this in a second.
So going off of what Jackson and Gentry just told y'all, we looked at all of our research and our insights, and we believe that we've solved the Delta Ridge brand identity crisis. So we suggest that you guys still market it as a barbecue sauce, because our research told us that that's what it's vastly identified as. However, since it is so different than all the other sauces in that category, we looked at what unified it as a brand, which we believed is the unique flavor that Delta Ridge has. So we propose Delta Ridge, the versatile barbecue sauce that'll give anything and everything that extra Delta kick.
Okay, so here are our 3 personas that we've come up with for our subcategories. So you have Salad Loving Stella, which is our salad dressing, Drenched David, which is our dipping sauce, and Glaze and Haze for our glaze. And the big thing that all 3 of these people want is something new, something with a kick. And so Salad Loving Stella, you have like a young woman who's 18 to 24 years old. She wants something that's fast, easy, and delicious. And she'll post about it on social media, just knowing young women's trends. So that would be great for y'all. And then we also have Drenched David, who's a little older, but he wants a sauce for everything. He can, put it on his kids' grilled cheese, or, if he's having like a nicer affair, he can use it then. And then we have Glaze and Haze, who is older as well, and he is like a master chef, or at least that's how he views himself. And he wants a sauce that he can use on everything. When he's having his backyard barbecues, to, I need to be healthy and make a salad kind of vibe.
So when it comes in to Delta Ridge being launched into the marketplace, we have 2 routes that we suggest for both of y'all. The first being getting into the local grocery stores, and once y'all get our book, you'll have a step-by-step process that we propose for y'all to get into the local Kroger and Walmart. We could only go so far in that mock application, so you're gonna have to take it from there, but with our plan, you'll be able to hit the ground running. And for our second route, we suggest using your website, which Logan will talk about in a bit. Online shopping is all about convenience, and it's only going to get bigger. So for Delta Ridge to participate in that trend, that's how you're going to do it. Other groups might be suggesting for y'all to use Amazon, but when we approached that route and try to figure that out for you, we figured out that they're not taking new products, and especially when that comes to the food line, because they're trying to launch their fresh market new grocery line thing. So for Delta Ridge to be online, which our research shows that you need to be, this is how you do that.
So for packaging, we decided to give a look that looks a little classic, but yet it's modern. And with Delta Ridge being a homegrown product made by a small town family, we thought we'd give it something that would look familiar, but at the same time would look like it's cutting edge and it's changing the industry. So for each of the colors we picked, and actually, if y'all want to grab one, here you go. Do you have a pick? No. Thank you. So for each color, we chose red for original because red's really a color that's synonymous with barbecue. When you look at brands across the market altogether, pretty much everybody at some point in time puts red into their product. We chose Honey Heat because orange is a color that's kind of represents hot a little bit, and since red is original, orange is the next best thing. So Honey Heat is orange. Mustard's yellow because mustard's a color that, or yellow's a color that every time you see mustard, it's yellow. So we chose that. We chose sugar. We chose green because sugar-free is healthy. It's good for you. We chose Katie Classic. It's originally Katie Original, but we didn't want people to get mixed up between the original sauce and the Katie Original sauce. And since it is the classic flavor that Delta Ridge started, it's what started the entire brand, that we decided to keep it the same color. We had to make sure that Katie was still in there and just call it the classic because it is the classic flavor of the brand. And then bourbon because it's got that kick of bourbon in there, so we thought brown. And then also on the packaging, if you turn around and you look at the back, it has the story of how Delta Ridge started, a little bit of how the family started the brand, how you fell in love with the sauce, and what inspired this entire thing. And then also when you look at the front, there's the state of Mississippi's on there, just so you know it is Mississippi made. That's something to be proud of. And people love when you take pride in where you're from and where the brand came from.
Okay, so I'm going to take y'all through a quick walkthrough of our media list. So right here we have our local media. So y'all have done a great job of getting feature stories and different things like that in Hotty Toddy News and Invitation Oxford. However, we want you to continue to build the momentum and penetrate the local market by reaching out to Oxford Magazine, Memphis Magazine, and Invitation Oxford. So for these two right here, we would like y'all to have feature stories and also take out advertisements when your feature story is read. And then for Invitation Oxford, we would just like to see advertisements there. So regional, so we have four, sorry, I cannot count today. So the first one we would like y'all to start with is Mississippi Magazine, because it's local, we get that homegrown identity, spread it out a little more. And then we have Southern Living, Garden and Gun, and Taste of the South, all very synonymous with the region that we want y'all to focus on as we develop into our phases. And then national. So Carrie, when you came to us, you said Delta Ridge was going to have a small feature in Food Network. So we wanted to say that that's a great start for a national audience. However, we also want you to look into ads and features with Smoke Signals, which is a barbecue magazine, and it's done quarterly. And we think that will be great because you can get more ideas, more market penetration from a larger audience that will know your brand. And then also Food Network. So we've decided to do this as digital advertisement, and also feature stories as we continue to grow.
So for one of the big things that we wanted to do with this brand was for consumers that couldn't necessarily come to Delta Ridge, we wanted to bring Delta Ridge to the consumer. So we are doing Delta Ridge Ride Along. It's a thing that'll be going on during the summer. Summer's a time where everybody likes to be social. Everybody does that. There's events such as festivals, competitions. We're going to go to different festivals. We're going to go to different competitions like Memphis in May and American Royal, which is a big barbecue competition in Kansas City. And then we're also just going to go to different cities, different communities, make sure that as many people that know Delta Ridge, as many people who can know about Delta Ridge can know about Delta Ridge. And so we're getting the name out there. We're going to have a tent set up. We're going to give away promotional items. We're going to make sure that we create a relationship between the consumer and Delta Ridge. And then also another thing that we are going to do to celebrate the summer is to create summertime hot sauce. Now, of course, like I said, summer's a season of social gatherings. People celebrate the holidays, get together, Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day. People celebrate, people go to the beach, people have a good time. And what better way to celebrate it than to launch something that puts us into a new market? The hot sauce market it almost has a cult following. People will do anything to get their hands on a good hot sauce. And with our traditional market being barbecue lovers and things like that, it jumps into an entire new thing. And then also we're going to use it as a way to give back. And with summer being a time that a lot of people are patriotic, especially with Memorial Day, with Independence Day, it's an opportunity for us to not only launch a new product, but for also us to give the opportunity to show military families that we really appreciate them to give back. So a certain percentage of the proceeds will go to, we picked Fisher House Foundation. It's an organization that gives free housing to military families when they're in a time of need, whether it be in the hospital, injury, things like that. And it's just a really good way to show the people not only that we care about sharing our sauce, but we also care about giving back to the community. And plus, like with it being a patriotic thing, it will dive in new people that traditionally wouldn't hop into our product. So it just expands the market even more.
So our digital strategy, is quite simple. One of the first things we're going to do is we're going to revamp your Facebook page. So it will feature the new branding of Delta Ridge. It will feature announcements. We will have posts featuring food that you guys have prepared to showcase the brand, food that other people have sent you guys to showcase the brand, and we'll also be purchasing Facebook advertising in addition to just the posts that we are making. In addition to that, we will also be revamping Instagram. We will have a detailed posting schedule, which is going to be in the book, but it will also feature the new branding. It will have the same kinds of posts, or similar kinds of posts, excuse me, to the Facebook with the food and people sending in their food. But it'll also be a place where we can have competitions for people to win a free bottle of their favorite sauce. And all of our advertising on Instagram and Facebook will be used to drive traffic to DeltaRidgeBarbecue.com, which will be the new homepage for your brand. As you can see, it features all of the sauces and the stories behind them. We'll have the story of the brand, recipes, whether submitted by you or fans of the brand, and an online store where people can purchase as much Delta Ridge as they would like. And it will also, of course, feature links back to your social media.
So for our print ads, of course, through research, we figured out that people love to use this sauce as three main things, being salad dressing, a glaze, and a dipping sauce. So instead of just creating one message that would be kind of depersonalized, we decided to make a message that would attract that each consumer could say, oh, I relate to this, instead of it being just something that's mass marketed. So we chose salad dressing, glaze, and dipping sauce as an opportunity to show that the sauce is extremely versatile. You can use it for anything you wish. And then also, not only can you use it as these three things, but you can also put your own spin on it. You can use it as you wish. It's not just a strict barbecue sauce that you would put on your ribs or something like that. You can put it on pretty much anything that you wish.
So our media timeline is a four-phased approach. So the first phase being the official relaunch, that is in January and February. That's when the new website comes up. That's when your social media will be revamped, and with all the rebranding and the new look of Delta Ridge. We'll also be targeting the local media primarily during that time. So we'll have print advertising in Invitation Oxford, as well as Memphis Magazine, and we'll be targeting our social media advertising to this region. Additionally, on to phase two, we are going to be generating buzz. So that's kind of the second phase. That's where we'll be starting our advertising in Mississippi Magazine. That's when we will expand our digital advertising to more than just North Mississippi. And we'll also be focusing on trying to really push people to Memphis in May, which will be our first real regional event where people not just from the South will be attending. There will be at least 60,000 people at that barbecue festival. Phase three is expanding reach. So that's when we're really starting to get out of just the Mid-South. That's where we're starting to get into things like the American Royal Festival. We'll be attending that and preparing for that. We'll have our digital advertising and food network at that point. And finally, we have phase four, building the brand. That's where people who have fallen in love with Delta Ridge over the last several months of the year will we'll cater to them. We will reach out to them and continue just to create this word of mouth and just this love for your brand. Of course, all that does have a cost, and here is our budget. So our budget is going to be $42,304 for all of this. We know you guys set the budget at $40,000, but we try to stay as close as that as we could. As you can see, we're spending a near equal amount on digital and print advertising because we feel both of those are vital for the brand. Additionally, the one-time cost, that's referencing the cost of getting tents made for the Delta Ridge ride-along. That's the cost of transportation, giveaway items, and the fee for attending American Royal and Memphis in May. Now, we've calculated that the number of impressions that this will generate on, including social media, including people in real life, including through print, should be 2,664,399 impressions, with a total revenue of $1,051,635.81, with a return on investment of 23.9 to 1. And here's Sarah to close us out.
So once again, we're the Magnolia Group. We're really proud that we found a solution to y'all's identity crisis. Again, we're marketing Delta Ridge as a versatile barbecue sauce that will give anything and everything that Delta kick. So thank y'all for coming to hear us, and thank you again for the opportunity to work with you guys, and thanks. Y'all have any questions? Oh, we'll get you a look. sauce for them to develop.
Okay.
So that's going to be a new addition that we suggest. They don't have it actually created yet.
Yeah, okay, got it, thank you.
You want to
You
see the
see it
bottle?
now, hotter than the Mississippi Cotton Bill in July.
There we go.
There you go.
See, you're already working with it.
So, in doing this, in your research and reaching out to people, I'll ask the same question I asked last night. What was one of the things that just surprised y'all that came back?
I think it was the salad dressing, honestly, and the smoked mustard. Going EC Moore's at LP's, that was the one thing that stood out to them the most. They said consumers just ate the smoked mustard. And just doing the focus groups, girls really resonated with the honey heat as salad dressing. Very surprising to us, quite honestly. I think those are the two biggest things that stood out to me personally and to the group.
The regionality of it all. I'm from Dallas, and so I know that barbecue. And so working with this, really, never even heard of Alabama white sauce. So seeing people's preferences with the regionality was interesting. So I thought about that.
And the chevrons on the bottle, what brought that?
I mean, it's
It'll make it stand out on the
Yeah.
shelves.
yeah, it makes it stand out. It's not
It's not
something
white.
where pretty much every barbecue sauce the label might be either white like Sweet Baby Ray's, or it has an animal on it like a bunch of different sauces. Like we decided that color's a big thing with a lot of people. Like color will draw people in, and when they see the variety of colors, like we didn't want it to be just like strictly red, so we thought give it a little bit of a twist, added a little bit of everything.
So, just for me, I'm colorblind, extremely colorblind. Like, you've never seen, there's only a very handful of us in the United States as bad as I am. Chevron's going vertically versus horizontally. But I see lines, I see color. That's pretty awesome, because everything you see on the shelves is all this. It's all in lines, all print, everything's going horizontally in everything you do. But with that giving it vertical, it just looks totally different from everything on the shelves.
And clearly with this bottle, it'll be y'all's sauce, so you'll have the color that'll draw
Sure.
you in. But since your guys' sauce is so unique, that
Each one will have that extra color pop.
Yep, it'll
Sure.
add the attraction.
Interesting.
So just a point of clarification, when you go to barbecue competitions, you're not saying enter those. You're saying have a tent there for the people that attend it.
Yeah, that is correct. So the plan is we budget for merchandise sales, not vending. So we're not selling food, we're selling the sauce. We're not preparing the sauce.
It'll be like what you've typically done, having your samples, handing out the Doritos and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, at one of the competitions, like you could pair with one of the pit masters out there. You could use Delta Ridge as glaze for his ribs, or for his pork or whatever. That's something that goes on at those competitions as well. So.
Awesome. Thank you.
I want to ask one more thing, or point it out. Like you keep talking about glaze, but glaze has never come up in anything that we talked about. So can you talk more about the word glaze, or that you're recommending it as a glaze?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's a thinner sauce. So with that, with it being a thinner sauce, we just kind of thought that it would be more of a glaze, something that you could lightly brush on your ribs, on your chicken, whatever you're choosing to smoke or grill. So that's kind of how we came up with that, I would say.
We plan for the point to be driven home through our social media and print ads. It'll show it using it as a glaze in the videos that we post on our YouTube channel and the social media. The word glaze will be used a lot, so that's what we have planned. So to reiterate that word, to make it stand out instead of like a marinade compared to all the other brands. And then when you watch it being used as a glaze, that's when the consumer will really bring it on that.
So that's a finished sauce to it.
Yes.
And that's also something that we picked up on in research. A lot of the men that we had in our focus groups, that word came out a lot when we were interviewing them. So.
Because typically anything that I've seen over time is the sweeter. That's where the honey, the brown sugar comes in and gives it that caramel, just slick color.